what's up? It's me, Anthony, and my friend
Finn, we are the two horrors.
So today we're going to be telling a few stories about ourselves and some supernatural happenings. I'm going to be telling mine first. It's going to be as short as I can make it. This is about the first thing supernatural that I've experienced. So I was like 4 or 5, and my dad had gotten me a sandbox for my birthday pretty recently, and I would play in it a whole time. And one time I was playing with a toy car, and I was having some fun with that. I looked up, and I saw this humongous spider, dude. It was like the size of a dinner table. Not one of the small ones, but like a huge one that you have a family dinner at. I was completely terrified. I was thinking through my head, oh my god, what do I do? Do I run? Do I hide? And then it made this weird chittering noise. I stood up and ran inside into the house, screaming for my mom, thinking that she could maybe help get it away or do something. I went inside and my mom was doing the dishes like, hey, honey, no, I can't do anything right now. Sorry. And by the time I finally bugged her into coming outside with me, the spider was gone and I thought I was going completely insane. So, but now that I look at it, I think it may have been a supernatural happening. All right, my friend Finn is going to be sharing a story that happened to him.
That was quite the story, Anthony. So, my story, I was about the same age, 4 or 5 as Anthony, when he had his supernatural happenings. My mom and dad are divorced, so I was at my dad's house sleeping, and I don't know, it was like 2, 3 a.m., and I start to see my door handle like slowly open, and then like once it was all the way opened, it slowly pushed out till it was all the way out, and then something like a really dark figure appeared like in my doorway, and I screamed really loud, and like my dad heard it, and then as soon as my dad heard it, the monster quickly disappeared, shut my door, and my dad rushed in, and he's like, what's wrong, son? Dad, I don't know, like, something really weird just happened, like, can I sleep in your room? No, son, go back to sleep, it's okay. And that ghost, like, I've never seen him again, and my dad never believed me from that story the day that it happened. So
yeah, I've heard stories about that, like shadow people. I've heard like people seeing unexplained dark figures in the corner of their vision, but I've never really seen a story like that where a shadow figure has gotten that close to a victim.
yeah, and it was like, I don't know, 15-20 feet from me.
Dang, that's one of the closest encounters. What you experienced was most likely a case of shadow stalker. It's where a dark spirit or entity latches onto someone to try to feed off their soul. So you're very, very lucky that your dad came in during that time.
Yeah, I am. So we're gonna tell some stories that we haven't had real life experiences. We're gonna tell like that had real life experiences but didn't happen to us.
So we're basically gonna be narrating them.
Yeah. So this one is from Google, and you can search it up. The first one is Annabelle, real doll. You just search up Annabelle, real doll, and she's a Raggedy Ann doll. Hold on, let me search her up.
Annabelle is fairly creepy. She's been featured in a few movies,
Such as The Conjuring, Annabelle, and stuff like that. So here we go, and this is from Google. So we're not plagiarizing and taking it from our own. So I'll let Anthony start off. Again, you can look it up, and this is the real Annabelle.
Alright, Annabelle is a haunted Raggedy Ann doll that is currently housed in in Ed and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum for Paranormal Events. Annabelle was moved there after multiple hauntings in 1970. She was originally cared for by two young women who were nursing students. They would treat Annabelle like a daughter, like she was living. They would dress her up, they would take her places,
Give her bracelets.
and one day one of the nursing students' boyfriends decided to come over and see the doll for himself. When he saw it, he was laughing and being like, "This is the doll you're so excited about?"
Yeah. And we wouldn't mess with Annabelle at all because even when she's in her box, like at the museum, and you can visit the museum, like she killed a college student as well. So, anyways, back to the story. So, that kid, the boyfriend of the student nurse, one of the student nurses, like had a dream that Annabelle was choking him.
And when he woke up, he felt searing pain on his back and chest. When he pulled up his shirt, he saw
4 scars
that had looked like they had always been there, and yet blood had been soaked in his shirt. After that day, the two girls started finding parchment all over the house, which is a type of paper none of them owned.
Yeah, and parchment paper is really hard to find. So yeah, back in the day. So anyways, before like when the hauntings happened, the student nurses held a séance, and Annabelle actually talked to them and said, "Hey, I'm Annabelle. I'm a little girl in this doll's body."
She had made up a story saying that she was in the body of the doll and that she was a young girl who was murdered on a farm years and years ago, and only wanted friends.
Yeah, so like after the hauntings started to happen, like they got really scared because she was showing her true colors, like choking people, putting parchment paper, blood coming out of her eyes, stuff like that. And the Warrens came over and they had to seize the doll. Excuse me. And then they got a priest to take a look, and the priest
When the priest came in, he felt a dark presence.
And when the priest picked Annabelle up, threw her across the room, and said, "God's more powerful than any other demon or living evil spirit."
And that is when the priest had made a grave mistake.
Hours later, he was driving, and he looked into a rear view mirror, and then saw Annabelle, and then he had a major car accident. Fortunately, he survived,
but he was scarred
badly. So, a priest comes in like every 2 weeks to bless everything in the museum.
And after the event of the priest, a young man on his motorcycle drove up to Ed and Lorraine's Museum of the Occult. He parked his motorcycle and came in. When he saw Annabelle, he laughed and was banging on the glass, saying, "Hey, give me your worst, doll."
And he was with his girlfriend, and that's how we figured out the part. That's how the reporters figured out the part. So he was driving back, and he crashed right into a tree head first. He died
on impact.
His girlfriend was severely injured, even though she didn't do anything to Annabelle.
So if you ever decide to go to Ed and Lorraine's Occult Museum, I would recommend staying far away from Annabelle.
And don't mess with her.
or she could set her eyes on you.
Sleep or kill you, however she decides.
Okay, now that story was very chilling. I don't know if you felt that, but I felt eyes on the back of my neck.
Yeah, whew, I would never want to mess with Annabelle.
Alright, now we're gonna be moving on to another doll. He is dressed in a sailor's outfit and grows hair without any explanation.
You guys might not know him. We also got this from Google. His name is Robert the Doll. And I will let my co-host Anthony here read the story. And again, this is from Google. If anyone from Google is listening to this, please don't sue us or anything. We're just 12-year-olds. Please.
Robert the Doll is a haunted doll exhibited in the East Martella Museum of Key West, Florida. Robert was once owned by a painter, author, and resident of Key West, Robert Eugene Otto. He had gotten the doll for his birthday and had played with him for a very long time. And when the doll started to act strange, that's when he started to act strange himself. He would become violent. He would not know what he was doing. And when he would snap back to reality, it would be as if he had no memory of what had happened. When he would get out of these trances, he would apologize to whomever he had wronged, saying, "It wasn't me, it was Robert. I can't do anything about it." And he started to get sick, coughing and choking. His wife
Ran out of the house,
screaming that she heard the giggling of Robert.
She never returned.
Robert the doll roams there. Eugene locked himself in a room, slowly dying, with Robert sitting next to him. When the house was sold, the people that bought the house found Robert and Eugene sitting right next to each other, as if Eugene had been hugging Robert. When they found Eugene, they gave him a burial, and when they found Robert, they decided to get rid of him. They thought it wasn't something they wanted. But sometimes when visitors come by and they look in the window, they can see
Robert and Eugene slowly dying. Well, that was one heck of a story, eh? Robert is a real life doll as well, such as Annabelle. I think most of you viewers think that we're faking, but look it up on Google and read the haunting stories.
Alrighty, so I have another story to tell you. This is one I have made myself. This one is called My Teddy and I. Alright, I'm going to be reading this as if I am the main character. One day, I was walking out with my dog, feeling bored, not knowing what to do. My friend called me over from next door and said that he had something interesting to show me. I, without anything other to do, walked with him to the back of his house. He said something creepy had happened last night, that he noticed that the shed's door opened in the back of his yard. And when he had opened it, he found a bear just sitting there, made of what looked like some sort of animal skin, some with patches of fur, some just smooth gray skin. He asked me if I wanted it because he said he didn't because it looked too odd. I, not knowing any better, said, "Sure, I'll take it. Maybe it'll give me some entertainment." When I brought it home, I noticed that it felt warm. And it felt like it was moving, almost breathing. When I felt the breathing, I screamed and dropped the doll. I looked down and it didn't move. I picked it up and pushed the idea that it actually breathed right out of my mind. I stood up and walked to the house. When I opened the door, my mom was standing there tapping her foot. "Honey, you were supposed to be here an hour ago. What happened? What took you so long?" I apologized and told her that that I had gone over to my friend's house and he had given me a present. She asked what it was, and I showed her. She jumped back, saying, "That is a very odd-looking bear, but if you want it, then you can." I walked upstairs and closed the door. I placed the bear on my shelf and laid down on my stomach on the bed. And I just heard a little... I turned to the shelf and I gasped. The teddy bear was now standing upright.
Hello.
Not moving, though, but as if it had scrambled up from the lower side of the dresser to the higher side. I didn't know what to think of it. I had watched too many scary stories to know that that wasn't normal. I stood up, went over to the doll, and poked it. The second I did, my finger sunk into its skin. I screamed. My mom ran up, and when I looked down at my finger, there was nothing but a bloody stub. My mom, seeing the bloody finger, screamed and told me to get that bear the heck out of the house.
No, don't do it.
When I picked it up, my hand was absorbed. My hand was bleeding like crazy. My mom decided to pick it up.
You're gonna see.
My mom...
I'm in your head.
My mom is now in the ER. And the bear is currently still sitting on my bed. I'm afraid to move it because I don't know what'll happen to me or anyone else. Well, that was my story.
That was a good story, Anthony, eh?
Yep, I think it was.
I don't know what to lead by that. Let's see.
Try to find another supernatural entity. A bear, a doll, whatever.
Yeah, I'll look through that right now. Have you guys ever heard of Riverdale Road?
No.
Well, Riverdale Road is located in Brighton, Colorado. It is one of the most haunted roads in the United States of America. Because one person had a house and they were having a house party and all his wife, his children were asleep, and then he burned the house down with the children and the mother inside. Now, the children and the mother haunt the road with many other spirits in the house.
Holy cow, that is not something I would ever want to see.
Yes, they roam the street of Riverdale at night, especially at Halloween. At night on Halloween, you can see blood, handprints on the signs. You can see people hanging from the trees above the creek. You can hear people yelling from under the creek, and so much more.
Oh, that gave me the shivers there. Well, I think I have one story to wrap it all up.
All right, let's hear it.
This story is called. This story would be called The Dog with No Head. My uncle gave me a puppy for my birthday. I had always been wanting a dog. And I had the dog for many years. And by the time the dog had gotten to its fullest age and was very healthy, I was in my 20s. I had decided to go on a camping trip with my dog, and we packed up, and he was in the back seat sleeping, and we drove to the campsite. I set up the tent and made a fire and even made a little dog shelter. My dog didn't like the shelter, though, and curled up right at the foot of my sleeping bag in the tent. I zipped it up and I slept. And then my dog woke up and scratched at the door of the tent. It seemed like he needed to go to the bathroom again. I opened the door and he bolted out. And I heard barking. And I didn't really know that. He barked. He never really barked. And then suddenly it stopped. I listened and called his name over and over. He didn't come. And then, about an hour later, I saw him, his little gray body, walking towards me as if he was injured. But when he came towards me, I checked his body, his paws, his ears, his mouth. He was fine. I was just assuming he had ran too fast and had winded himself. And when I went in the tent, he curled up. I noticed something strange. Back feet didn't really look like paws anymore. They looked more like baby hands. I just brushed it off, thinking I was tired. When I woke up the next morning, my dog was still standing there in the tent, head straight as a board, eyes unnaturally wide. Well, I didn't know what to do. I didn't cross my mind that what came back wasn't my dog. Not at all. I thought it was just being weird. I unzipped the tent and got ready to pack up. But when I did, the thing imitating my dog, its head turned at 180 degrees. Its joints made a cracking noise. I cringed in pain of hearing it. It growled at me. I jumped back. Its mouth split open, revealing the skull. His skull was mutated and blackened. I screamed and ran into the car. I started up the car and drove off as fast as I can. And right now, I'm at home. My only word of advice to you is don't take your pets. For if you do, what comes back might not be your pet. Alrighty, well, that was my story.
Thank you guys for listening, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please take a moment to leave a review. From me, Finn, and my co-host, Anthony, this has been The Two Horrors. Have a good one.
Bye.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Two Horrors podcast. This is Finn and
Anthony.
All right. We're going to be talking about our lives, who we are, what we do, all that type of stuff, because we didn't do it in part 1 of the podcast. So I will let Anthony start off.
All right, I am Anthony Van Clausen. I am not going to tell you where I live for obvious reasons. I'm 14 and I live in Colorado. And I have 2 dogs, mom, dad, and brother. Now, Finn, let's tell
My
you
na-
about you.
All right, my name is Finn Kraft. I am 12. I'm from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. I've been a Colorado native, and I have one dog, Enzo. My mom and dad, who are split. Um, and small family on my dad's side, large family as my on my mom's side. So, yeah.
Alrighty, so that introduction was fun. Now, I'm going to start off with a scary restaurant story. After this story, you might not ever want to eat fast food again. So, I'm going to be telling this as if I were the main character. I used to get really hungry after soccer practice. I always wanted to eat. And the closest thing around where our soccer practice was a McDonald's, but that had shut down. So we had to drive halfway across town to a different McDonald's. When I went there, I noticed that it didn't seem like there was anybody there. So I told my mom, I don't think this one's open. And my mom's like, well, let's just check in case. And when she opened the door, there was a woman that looked about 20 at the front desk. She looked like she hadn't slept for years. She looked pale and had long hair that had been tangled. I stood behind my mom, feeling a little nervous. My mom asked me what I wanted, and I told her, I'll have a Big Mac with a 6-piece chicken nugget and a small Coke. My mom told me to go sit down at the table, and they ordered their meals. They came and joined me, and I told them I had to go to the bathroom. As I walked down the hallway to the bathroom, I noticed that there was a small employee door with a glass window that you could see clearly into the room where they cooked the food. When I looked through it, I almost threw up. Then one of the employees had cut his finger and poured it all over a hamburger bun, which he then blew his nose onto. He put the bun on it and set it aside. Another employee was urinating into a cup and had poured chocolate-looking substance into the cup. He stirred it faster and faster and finally put it aside. And lastly, the employee that was at the front desk, the girl, she cut off her fingernails and put it in my fries and chicken nuggets.
Disgusting.
And when she noticed that I had been staring at her, she gasped and ran over to the door. I bolted away from the door and down the stairway, down the hallway, back to my parents. I couldn't say anything because I was so scared that if I did, the lady would hurt me. I sat down and they brought the food over. I looked at it and I lifted up the bun. The ketchup looked a little bit too runny, a little too red. I gagged and picked it up and took a bite. I swallowed. The employee woman was staring at me as if she wanted to kill me. I took another bite and threw up all over the table. I didn't know what to do. I stopped gagging and I looked over to my parents and I said, Mom, they were doing horrible stuff to the food. Don't eat it. Just as I said that, my dad took a large bite of his sandwich. I gagged. He took a sip of his Coke. Ugh. I thought in my brain that I was gonna die. I fell sideways and fainted. I woke up in an ER room with lights and noises all around me. I looked up and I saw my mom whispering to my dad. I didn't know why I was here. And then it all came back to me. The sandwich, the hamburger. I sat up and gasped. What? Mom, where am I? Are you okay? She whispered one last thing to my dad and came over and told me that I was all right and everything was all right. And that they were working on what happened there. They had found out that the employees there were never hired. They were never paid. They had just showed up there. And the employees that had been working there were found dead and mutilated in the back of the dumpster.
Ew.
I no longer eat fast food for fear that this will happen again. And for those of you who do enjoy fast food, be careful.
All right. That was some story. Let's see what I can follow by that.
Yeah, that one is always a chiller, the ones about food. Because it's always something we love. We love our food. But we don't love when it's twisted into something scary.
Let's see.
Also, I think my favorite kind of scary story would be those about the most common things turned twisted.
Ooh, I got one. Thank you for that.
Tell us.
Tip, Anthony. Okay. I'm going to be talking in first person view, as I am the main character. It was December 7th, 1942, a year after Pearl Harbor. I was looking at the sunken ship from a view as bodies were coming out, and I walked over to this, what's a word?
Like a boat.
Yeah, boat place. Yeah, thank you.
It was sitting on the water, looking a little rusted.
Yeah.
And old.
Yeah, and that was one of the boats on the harbor when it got attacked, and it wasn't that rustic because people wouldn't be on it, so.
And his friend looked up at him and said, "They didn't give us any warning of the bombing. They could be coming back. Captain's getting nervous. So are the men."
All right, let's go aboard that ship.
I don't know. It looks like a Japanese spy boat. I don't know if there's still anyone on board. I don't know how the regiment didn't see it.
Give me the Admiral.
All right. So, you wanted to talk to me?
Yeah, I did. Do you see that boat over there, the rustic one?
Yes.
That was on the harbor during the attack, right?
Nope. I have no registration of it ever landing.
Well, I request a strike force to go aboard that boat and clear it.
Well, I only have so many men I can spare. I can spare you 4 men, and that's all. The rest are helping with the recovery team.
Give me a minute. I'll decide. So, you're my strike force team?
Yep.
Is there anyone you know that's in his special forces that could help us?
Well, the rest of the Green Beret are off fighting.
Alright.
And anyway, it doesn't look like there's anyone there.
Alright, this is what I want to do. I want two men on a helicopter. The pilot will be ready and waiting at the airfield.
Well, that boat is only about as big as a... Oh my god. I'm not going aboard that ship.
Why? Soldier, come back here now!
Sir, I think he's dead.
Who? What? Why?
I don't know. Looks to have a bullet shot in his forehead.
Open full fire. Get heavy artillery on that ship immediately.
As the guns fired over and over and over, nothing was left of the ship except for 8 bodies.
Clear the ship. Get more men than 4 men. Get more men than 3 men. Give me the Admiral now.
Look, I can't do anything else.
Whoa, hold all the rescue, okay? Just hold it. Give me every man on the strike force team you have.
Do you think I can do that when there are over 7 million men laying dead on the Omaha beach and on Pearl Harbor, with the ocean filled with burning oil? I can spare myself and 2 other captains.
I don't need captains. I need a strike force team. Sir, with all due respect... Okay.
Look, I can't spare any more men.
With all due respect, sir...
With all due respect, what?
I need as many men as I can get.
Why? There's nothing left but a smoldering boat. And it hasn't even dealt any damage.
Look at that man right there, sir.
Yes, he has been shot in the head like many other soldiers.
That was the man on the harbor. Not the man in the ships. The man with me that you sent. There might be still more people below decks. I need more men.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, sir.
I'll talk to Ronald. I think he can send the rest of his regiment down.
Thank you.
All right, sir, we're here.
How many are you?
Well, we've got McDonald, we've got Reggie, we've got Find, we got Leonard, and...
How many men are you?
Well, currently there's only 8.
8 men. Okay. This is what I want you to do. I want both of you to... I want 2 squadrons to split up evenly. You guys are the strike force team, correct?
Yep.
I want two squadrons split up evenly. Squadron 1, which will be under your command, will take the upper decks. McDonald, over here. You're going to be the 2nd strike force leader on his 2nd squadron.
All right.
I want you to go below decks. You understand?
But why? There doesn't seem to be any reason.
That was an order.
Sir, yes, sir.
Go. Dismissed. As they clear the boat, I hear gunfire. Holy shit! Where's the Admiral?
Sorry, I can only talk to you over the radio.
Are you okay?
Sorry, well, I don't know. I'm hearing shots. Men are getting shot, but I see nothing.
Get the hell out of there.
I can do what I... I think the Admiral was just shot.
Where's McDonald? Is McDonald on comms? McDonald!
Yes, I'm on.
McDonald. God damn it.
Yes.
Get up here now.
I'm doing what I can. Yes.
McDonald.
There's no one left.
McDonald, get the hell out of there.
I think I hear a knocking on the door.
Don't do it! McDonald, evacuate. That's an order from your commander.
I need to open the door.
Jesus, McDonald, Strike Force 1, get below decks now!
Jesus. There's I can see them now.
Who? McDonald!
The fallen men.
McDonald, that's an order. Get the hell up.
The Dark Angels.
McDonald, get up here.
Just then I hear a gunshot. I pull out my gun and aim it at him.
Jesus, McDonald. Don't you dare do it. Pulls a gun, fires twice in the chest, and then once in the head.
I stand back up.
Fires twice in the head.
And I fall dead. Sir, I don't know what... We need to leave. I am not searching this boat. Whatever is here...
Strike Force Team 1,
Nazis...
evacuate. Strike Force Team 1, evacuate.
Will do.
The Admiral's dead. Give me the 2-star Admiral. The 3-star Admiral is dead. Give me the 2-star Admiral.
Yes, I'm here.
Alright, I want everyone to evacuate Pearl Harbor. I want everyone to evacuate Pearl Harbor.
Do you want this on top secret files, or do you want this to be publicly known?
Top secret for now.
Yes.
Evacuate all Pearl Harbor, including the rescues.
Everyone, leave. Leave. Go. Go.
They are to return to the airfield.
Everybody, get the plane started. We need to go.
They're to go to California.
My plane's engine is failing. The rest are working, though. Wait. Shit.
What?
Ronald's isn't working either. But the rest are in the air.
Fuck. Get the mechanics up in the air.
They have a toolkit up there. The planes are falling.
Holy shit, get them to land immediately. I declare an emergency on Hawaii.
Okay, 3 of the men have just landed.
Get me the President of the United States.
Why are they firing? Okay, for some reason the men are firing down at the decks.
Holy shit.
Oh my. The men are... There are Japanese soldiers in our planes.
Get me the goddamn president.
Can't do. An assassination attempt has already been done on him.
Has he survived?
Yes.
Is the vice president alive?
No.
Secretary of State?
Yes.
Secretary of State is the president. He will act as the president for all of you that don't know. The Secretary of State will act like the president if the president and the vice president are dead.
And just so you know, this is not historically accurate.
Yeah, this is not historically accurate. So please don't take note of anything except for the Pearl Harbor
incident, which was real.
Yes.
The Japanese were supposed to send a letter of attack to the President of the United States, but the letter did not reach in time, and the Japanese fighter pilots and kamikazes exploded out of the sky, destroying millions of ships and killing more than 200 men. The Japanese, realizing that their letter was not sent in time, had declared it a very unhonorable sneak attack.
But the
Many
Japanese
of the kamikaze
still
pilots killed themselves.
December 7th, 1941. A day that will live in infamy. That was a quote from our president during the time.
This day of war shall live on and on. We all have the right to joy, happiness, and death.
Attack on Pearl Harbor. The location: Pearl Harbor, Oahu, Hawaii. You can visit
Attack
it.
on Hawaii was a surprise military strike by the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Support upon the United States against the naval base of Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, territory of Hawaii, just before 8 a.m. on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a day that shall be remembered in history.
Our president made December 7th speech.
One moment. Please stand by.
Our President Franklin D. Roosevelt spoke and said this famous quote. December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. The address to Congress asked the state of war to be declared between the United States and Japan. So after December 7th attacks, we have declared war on Japan, and in the end of the war, we dropped 2 atomic bombs. Fat Boy and Little Man. They know not to mess with us. And something kind of cool is they drove one of the ships that was on Pearl Harbor but wasn't sunk to there.
The Arizona was stuck, the sunk, and the USS Lexington was also.
Yeah. So one of the ships they took there, and they were on Japanese territory. While they were signing, a lot of American bombers. Planes. Yeah, bomber planes was flying really low during the peace treaty. And flying really low, bomb bay doors open, showing the bombs. And it was sending a message saying, no, they didn't drop the bombs, but if
they were testing the hydrogen bomb multiple times, and by the time they dropped it,
I'm talking about a time like.
Don't worry, we can cut certain parts of it.
Yeah.
Like my balls.
So, anyways, the historical figure part of it was they were signing the peace treaty.
Shit, it's 11:35, almost 12.
I can stay. So, anyways, the like when they were signing the peace treaty aboard the the ship, I can't name it right now. I forgot the ship's name. When they were like signing it, like B-17 bombers, aka super fortresses, had like many bombs attached with bomb bay doors open, flying really low, and it sent sort of a message like, if you try to do this again, we'll knock the fuck out of you. We need to make this explicit. We'll beat the shit out of you, and we'll knock the fuck out of you and make sure you don't survive.
I have one more First World War story.
World War II.
It's a World War I story, actually, buddy. So,
interesting.
This one is about the 1st British Infantry.
Ooh.
I will be telling this as if I'm the main character, and my friend Finn here will be playing the second character, the second in command. We've been walking for days. We need to rest.
No, we have to keep moving.
All right. But we have been under fire from the Germans for days on end. Look, Ronald just got shot.
That's a World War II story, by the way.
This is World War I.
No, Germany wouldn't fire on us. in World War One.
Yes, World War One, Germany would fire on you. Yes, they would. So, fine. The Germans are retreating. They're retreating. Let's go.
Okay, move.
Go.
Go. Set up along that ridge. I want you to open full fire. Use all your bullets. Get heavy artillery on that mountain over there. Move it.
All right. They're gone.
They've gone. Regroup. We're going to sleep here for the night.
All right. Move into the barracks. We need to clear it. Oh, my God. There's black stuff all over. Oh, my God.
Get me the radio.
There's black stuff all over. Look, there's a German. Oh, my Lord. The German was laying there. The German was laying there, head off. Black substance leaking out of every bullet hole in his body. It was disgusting. There were entrails, grossly mutilated, smeared all over the walls.
Some other forces here, not us.
I know.
Something else.
The Germans called upon something that was so fucked up, they couldn't deal with it. There's a hole in the ground, Captain. There's a hole in the ground, Captain. Can we investigate? Yes, go. But be careful.
Be very careful. Send 2 people over there.
Make sure you have your pistols open.
Pistols are locked on, ready to go.
Oh my. Why does it smell so horrible?
Turn your flashlight on. See what's there.
You mean your lanterns?
Yeah, a lantern.
Oh my. Oh, there's so many bones. Is this one of the death camps for the prisoners of war here?
The hell?
No, it's
Search
not.
the perimeter. 100-mile perimeter. Search it. Clear everything.
Oh my God. I'm being pulled in.
John, get him. Jesus, Carl. Fall back. Open full fire on that motherfucker.
He's gone, Captain.
Open full fire on whatever the hell that thing is.
On my command, look down. 3, 2, 1.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. When we looked down,
Boys, move back very slowly.
when we looked back, I'm a very old man now, and when I look back onto that memory, I remember the fear, the absolute horror. This was worse than any war crime, any torture in the war. When I looked down,
This was something.
I saw the face of fear. I don't know how to explain it, but when I looked down, I saw Robert changed. His eyes were too wide. His teeth were too white. He had too many of them. When he crawled out, he had some sort of animalistic look in his eyes. He didn't look like Robert anymore. He looked like Robert, but like something had taken control of him.
Okay, everyone slowly back up. Grab your primary weapons.
But that's Robert, though.
That's not Robert. Whatever the hell that is, it's unnatural.
It screeched. Oh my! Don't shoot. That's still Robert. That's still Robert.
Back the hell up, boys.
I'm gonna tackle it.
Don't do it! Open full fucking fire!
Ah, you hit me, you bastard!
Okay, get the Admiral. Bring the Admiral back. Push Robert back into that fucking hole and patch that fucker up.
When I look back, I probably shouldn't have tackled him anyway. I knew I was gonna get harmed either by him or the regiment. See, I still have the bullet hole right in my top shoulder. It's scarred now, and it's been surgeried up by the stupid doctor that didn't know jack about anything.
Okay, get the medic for the Admiral. Push him back. I wanna strike team with him, ready to fire one, whatever the hell that is.
You don't put your finger in the bullet hole. Well, it's the only way to stop the bleeding. Ugh,
Hey! Just don't put your finger in the fucking Admiral's bullet hole.
just sew it up. No, I have to take the bullet out first, but it's in shrapnel.
Get the fucking tweezers.
It'll hurt.
Patch it up.
I'm doing that. Sew it up, for Christ's sake.
For Christ's sake, do your fucking
I
job.
just did it. Here's a patch.
Get over here, you son of a bitch. Stand at attention.
At least it feels better.
You listen here, you motherfucker. You did it wrong, and you did it really wrong. You're gonna go to fucking America and get us a fucking better medic, and you're gonna have your ass handed to you. You're gonna be court-martialed and fucking dishonorably discharged.
Just then, I remember seeing the medic's eyes turned. He stared straight at me, pulled out his gun, put it
Jesus, strike team,
underneath his
take a
chin,
bullet.
and shot himself. He fell backward into the pit. That's when I knew we had to leave.
Patch up the fucking pit and get the hell out of here.
Okay, we're doing it. Where's some boards? Get wood boards. Come on. All right, it's all patched up. Well,
Okay,
let's head out.
I
want no word of this to any other regiment, anyone else. This never happened today. Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go.
Sir, with all due respect.
Yes.
What the hell? Sir, I don't want to be fucking a part of this. Pulls out gun, shoots himself.
Damn it. Anyone else decides to pull out their gun will be rolled up in a towel and will be dragged halfway across Germany just to get their asses put in a mental hospital. You understand me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. That's good.
Yes, sir.
When I look back, I knew that I should have taken the guns away. Only 3 days in, 5 men had shot themselves or killed themselves other ways.
Who do you think we should do, John? Robert.
Robert's gone, you dumbass.
John. Sorry, what? I'm so confused.
He's my twin. It's alright.
I'm so confused, sir. I'm so sorry.
John.
5 men have died, sir. I'm beginning to go mental. The whole squadron's going mental. I think we should take away their firearms until it's time for actual combat.
But what do we
Germany.
do with them? Do we carry them? No, they'll just steal them and fire in their brains. Fine, I'll grab the guns and I'll take out all the ammo, but 2 bullets in case we're attacked. All right, it's done. When I look back, I understand why they did that. What they saw was worse than anything.
Yeah.
It had gotten in their brains. It had twisted what was left. And as I'm telling you this story, I realize why they did it. 'Cause it's inside of them. It's always moving. It talks to you.
Jesus, John, what the hell happened to you?
And in this interview that you're doing right now, I can see you. It's in you now.
John? Really, John? Do I really have to pull out my firearm from way back when and shoot the fuck out of you?
It's in you now.
What the?
End of interview. That was a pretty scary story, I think.
Yeah, that was one of the good ones. Hey, we're at 59 minutes and 53 seconds. Almost an hour. New record.
Yeah, boys.
And again, this is part 2. That was really scary.
All right, so I think this is going to be the end of part 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Have a good one.